Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to homeschool in the state of Nebraska. And we're going to start out at the HSLDA website, which you can become a member if you have legal questions or legal concerns, because they would be the ones to help you with something like that. And they describe what a homeschool is considered in the state of Nebraska and what you have to do. And it says both parents must sign and file a notarized parent or guardian form. This form requires you to state under oath that requirements for state approval. Wow. So your school either interfere with my decisions in directing my children's education or violate my sincerely held religious belief. This form must be filed promptly upon beginning homeschool in Nebraska and by July 15th each year thereafter. So, and it talks about that. You have to send a certified copy of your child's birth certificate, it says, or explain why. You have to yearly file a parent representative form. And these are things that you want proof of that you sent or you want copies of to put in your binder or portfolio that you keep if you keep one. Which a lot of people like to keep one just as keepsakes. And you might have one that you might create, and that you might have your student create one as a project, because it helps your student to be able to look at and take pride in their work that they did throughout the year. It says yearly you have to file an information summary. The information summary is a supplemental sheet to Form B. A calendar for the school year indicating a minimum instruction of 1,080 hours of secondary schools and 1,032 hours in elementary schools. A list of all instructional monitors in the homeschool, typically the parents, including their names, ages, and highest level of education completed. A scope and sequence for each grade level being taught. You have to teach the required subjects, and it lists those. Says it does not require any specific qualifications to teach each subject other than the parent's satisfactions. You must comply with vaccine requirements. So if you're keeping a portfolio or a binder, here's a list of some of the things that you might want to put in there, hopefully to help you with that. And if you give them assessment tests at the beginning of the year that you can find on the internet to find out what they need to review or where they're at to help you create a plan of what you want to teach them. Any state homeschool laws, you can print that out, put a date on it, and put it in there. Copies of forms filed, a couple of calendars or attendance records, your favorite resources, a list of your favorite resources that you might want to use this year or the next year, a list of the actual resources you're using, whether it's online curriculum, workbook, any field trips and things like that. Contents from web pages like IXL that show the curriculum and list the activities they're going to be doing, or the contents from workbooks that show what they're going to be doing. Sample student work, and you might choose whether you want to showcase their best work, show progressive work, or a variety of skills. And I might choose to do 2 pages from each subject a week to put in there and separate them by subject. And proof of field trips taken, like a flyer with a date on it, student work where they wrote about what they learned or what they enjoyed the most, maybe a photo, a weekly schedule, a daily log of activities. You might put like day 1, the date, the time, the subject, whether they're doing the name of this book or the name of the website they're doing the subject in, and the actual activity they're doing. And that way you have that daily log of activities. If any standardized tests that they might take, you might want to put that in there as well. Volunteer work, maybe you can create certificates and have somebody fill it out. Outside classes taken, you might want to have certificates from that as well. Contacts with emails and phone numbers and addresses for the school that you have to contact, or any homeschool support groups. If you're doing career study field trips, you might want to have them create questions like the type of education they needed, their daily activities, if they have to meet deadlines, their problem-solving skills, their leadership skills. And if you can get audio or video from that, that might help them be able to review it, and you could have them write papers about it. And that might help them choose a career or decide on their education. It might also just help them with communication skills and interviews. And you could put those types of things in your binder or portfolio. And if you do assessments every now and then, you could put that in there, and you might want to do assessments every 6 to 8 weeks with small notes in between, and then assessments on each subject as well at the end of the year. And make sure you put a positive spin on anything negative. Like if they're struggling in an area, you want to put maybe they have a positive attitude if they're struggling with reading. And then if they soar through 5 reading levels being homeschooled in a year, you could put that you think that they were able to overcome that and soar through that because of their positive attitude. You could put that in their student assessment. And you can put assessments in your binder as well. This is from the Nebraska Department of Education, and I'm not going to read all of this to you, but I will scroll down, and you can pause it to read it if you like, or to get information. And this is something else that you could get and you can print out, but it's 26 pages long, and you could put that in your binder or portfolio, or you could change the printing location to a PDF and save it as a PDF onto your computer, and you can email it to yourself so that you have it in your email. That way if you want to read it later, you can, and you don't have to look for it on their website. But like I said, you can pause it and read it if you like. I have quite a few tabs open, so if I read through all of this, I won't have a voice left. And the video would take a long time. So it probably has a lot of information that would be useful for you if you're homeschooling. If you have a daily log with the different times and the different subjects and what they're doing, you will easily have the amount of time that you spent homeschooling. At the last subject, you might want to put start time and end time of that subject, so you have the end time of their homeschooling that day. And when you're homeschooling, sometimes schooling runs over. Sometimes you might be working on a website for 3 or 4 hours on your schedule, and then on your daily log show the amount of time they spent on each subject, because it may not be the same. It may not be as strict and rigorous with your rules as they are in a public school, and let them finish their thoughts and things like that instead of just ringing some annoying bell and making them stop mid-thought. So here's some assessment and placement tests that you can find on the internet. So if you want to give them an assessment test at the beginning of the year to see what level they're on, and you can see that. You can download it and print it off. You can save it as a PDF and print off only the pages you want. And then you can see they might make simple mistakes here and there, and you can show them the simple mistakes. And then they might start struggling in certain places, and you might say, oh, that's the level they're on, is where they're struggling. And that will help you to create the goals and what you plan on teaching them that year. And you might find that they're in a different level of reading than they are in math. And that might help you. Another website is this one, and I just wanted to show you this, because if you've never homeschooled before and you're trying to create a list of the materials you're going to need, or the materials you might have in each subject, you can use this as an example, and you might want to list the exact titles of the books, or your curriculum packages, or your favorite internet curriculum websites, or your ideas for PE, whether it is bowling or skating or yoga or Zumba or swimming at the YMCA, hiking, whatever, walking the dog, field trips that you plan on taking. And that way you have a list of your favorite websites for resources for English or math or whatever. And then you might have an actual list of the ones you're going to use this year. And then next year you can look back and say, oh, those were my favorites. Maybe I'm going to use a different one. Or later on in the year you might say, oh, let's use this one now, And that way you have that list there for you, and hopefully that helps you. This is a homeschool attendance record. You can see in the upper left-hand corner where I found it. It is on the North Carolina website, and you can print 2 of these out and put them, one being a tentative calendar and one being the actual calendar. And you could put like X's for the days you plan on having school, or you can use highlight markers, and H for holidays, and like FT for field trip, or however you want to do it. And then even public schools have like snow days or something comes up, and that way you have a planned calendar and then an actual calendar that you end up having school. And this is the IXL website. And what I like about this one is that you can easily print out the contents and the curriculum, what you're going to be doing. So if you're keeping a daily log of what they're doing, you can see when you put math and ixl.com, you can put even or odd as the activity they're going to be doing, or right numbers and words as the activity, or skip counting puzzles. So you understand what it means when you put the subject, the name of the website or book, and the activity. And you can easily print this out and put this in your binder or portfolio. But this website isn't free. It's about $20 a month, I think, at this time. But this is an excellent resource. It goes from pre-K all the way up to calculus. And it has a variety of subjects. It's a complete curriculum. This is another one, but this one is supposed to be free for everyone, everywhere at the time that I'm doing this. It says that. And it's a complete curriculum as well, and it goes from pre-K up to college classes. So I've heard great things about this website. Another one is AllinOneHomeschool.com, and it uses a variety of websites and different links as they do their daily activities. They can click on them, and they might be doing reading, and they might go to one page to be reading, and they might go to another page to hone their math skills, and they might go to another website to watch like a Paul Bunyan video or something like that, so that it makes it more interesting and more fun. And it's free, and you go to a page to donate, and you choose to donate at this time it is, and if you don't want to donate, you can donate later after you've used it a while and found out, oh, I absolutely love this. And it does have Bible studies in it if you want to begin your day with a Bible study. I don't think it's in their daily activities, but it's on here so you can do it separately. You're homeschooling, you have the right. You can start your day with prayer or a couple of songs. And then there's also, this one is not complete curriculum, it's just adding to your curriculum, and it's fun. And it's Schoolhouse Rock, and you can see the variety of subjects. So some people might have heard of it, but didn't realize that it had so many different subjects. And you can find it in YouTube playlists so that the students can go there, and I will show you some of the things that they have. Like here's the subject, and you can see it teaches them multiplication tables. I learned a lot about addition in that as well when I was younger, so. And kids still love it. And there's the subject, and you can see the different parts of speech it teaches you about. And then you can see the American Rock, how it teaches you about immigration, American independence, the branches of government, Declaration of Independence. Science Rock teaches you about a variety of things. It has Money Rock that teaches you about budgeting and a variety of subjects. And then there's Earth Rock, which is also teaches a good variety. So you can find these on YouTube video playlists, and they're great fun, and you'll hear your students just singing along, and you can go cook lunch or do whatever you want to do while they're listening to these, or it could give them a break in their work at different times during the day. I think it helps them learn much faster and remember things easier because they can remember the songs. I can still remember a lot of the songs from when I was young. And this one is an excellent resource. And from what I understand, it's free, most of it, maybe all of it. And it's very easy to use. It's very user-friendly. You can just click on it and go to it. And it has different videos or different things for you to learn. So, and it has a good variety. And then there's this one, and this is another excellent resource to help you. And we always need resources. I couldn't put them all in here, but there are so many of them, and I love the way they're so easy to use that you can just click on the things and go into it and see it. And it's so simple. I just love this. And you might want other subjects that you want to add to your curriculum, or you might be doing history in one place and civics in another and music in another and math in one site and English in another, and that's okay because you can do that. You're homeschooling, you can use whatever you want to use for your students. So, and I really love this website. I think this is an excellent resource. I wish I could fit them all into one playlist, but I can't. This is PBS, and this is another great resource for homeschoolers. So I thought I would mention this one as well. I homeschooled for 6 years at one time, a few years another time, another year, another time, and then another year. So I homeschooled for quite a few years. And this is Project Gutenberg, and it has books where you can read them if you don't want to go to the library at this time, or you're just looking for books online. You just click on the book and go online and read it. Choose your format, and there it is. And if you do go to the library, I would give them a list of skills you want them to learn at the library and give them a certificate of completion for the library skills and throw that in your binder as well. And this one has thousands of books. And if it has different editions they came out with, they're on here as well. But I think it has like 4,000 or 5,000 books. And you can just click on it. And there's a book and there's a page. And you just click on it. You can turn the page to the left or the right. But it's an excellent resource because you're going to be wanting to read. This one is for older students, for middle school to college. And you can see the subjects on the left. And then there's this one. And it's at home middle school, and you can see that it's for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. This resource, I think, is an excellent one. I stumbled across this one, and this one has some complete books that you can download and print out, like complete workbooks that are on here. It's just a great resource, so you can click on it, and you will be amazed at some of the things. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, that's really good. Here's a book right here, and it has the answers on another link. So that's another excellent resource. And then if you're new to homeschooling, you might want to join a homeschool support group. I've heard the co-ops might be a little overwhelming with all the work, but if you join, I've never joined one. If you can join a homeschool support group, and some are free and some cost a little bit of money, and they might do PE together sometimes, or have picnics together and play in the park together so they get time with other students. They might share resources like books and curriculum, and you might want to donate your curriculum to another family, and that might be a place that you can find it. They might have knowledge of things that you never even considered you had questions about, that you might be able to, gain their knowledge and ask them questions. And you can make their contact lists of the ones that you join and the contacts within the group, and put that in your portfolio or binder as well. And I hope that this video helps someone out there that's homeschooling. And please feel free to leave comments. Thank you for tuning into my channel. Have a great day. Bye-bye.